Shalom, everybody, and welcome back to Insights. This week it's on Sukkot, based on the teachings of Rebbe Nachman. Before we go into a little bit of Sukkah, we have to just take a look at what's happening in the world, and we have to admit we're just fed up with all the bad news, all the crazy news. Since, I'll say it in Hebrew, Simchat Torah from 2 years ago, when there was a terrible, terrible incident in next to Gaza, etc., by the Nova. So the world has been upside down, and we see that there's too much sheker, too much falsehood, and it's clear that it's falsehood. And people are pushing forward the falsehood in the world, and it reaches a point where you get fed up. You can get sick. If you just are on media all day, you can actually get sick from all the crazy things happening in the world against Israel, against the Jewish people. Now, more recently, the people are attempting attacks on Jewish people. What happened in Manchester, what happened in America, in a few places, what's happening in Israel. So it's just getting out of hand, on one hand, right? And if you just focus on that, you can literally lose your mind. It's absolutely crazy. But what's bothering us the most in these past few years now is this unbelievable burst of falsehood, such sheker. And it's so clear that it's falsehood, and yet people are accepting it. People don't want to recognize the truth. Even if they're being told in their face and proven that it's wrong, they still continue with their falsehood. What in the world is going on? What in the world is going on? What are we supposed to do? What is the proper response? What does Hashem want of us? So let's take a look from the perspective of Rebbe Nachman, in particular, his and Rav Noson's explanation of this concept called the exchanged chambers, the Hechala Tumurot. Rav Noson writes in Likutey Moharan, section Orachaim, the laws of giving thanks, Hoda'ah, discourse number 6, in section 12. Rav Noson writes that all falsehood, all exchanges come from the exchange chambers. What does it mean, exchange chambers? Where people are exchanging the right with wrong, falsehood with truth, light with darkness, which is exactly what's happening today. It's just so absurd and ridiculous how people are presenting falsehood as being the truth. That's true for all of life, all the tests of life, all the tests that we have in our religion, in our faith, all the ideas of philosophies, and all false ideologies. But it's so clear that even a simple-minded person sees that there's absolutely absurd sheker, falsehood, and it's being accepted as being the real truth. And it's so clear, and yet people don't want to accept it. So here it's sticking out more than anywhere else that this is coming from the exchange chambers, where the evil has in its power to switch, to swap, like we said, light with darkness, good with evil, falsehood and truth. So based on that, we can say that the burst, the sudden burst, unexpected burst of this swap, this exchange in these past few 2-3 years since that Simchat Torah, is showing us that the chamber of exchanges is doing its best to attack. To attack now. Why? Few reasons. Rebbe Nachman gives one idea, that when the evil sees it's about to have a major downfall, it then puts all of its might and energy to give its last smack, last smash, its last hit before it falls. So it could be that this is the sign that we are very close. We already know that we're very close to Mashiach's coming, Mashiach's imminent arrival any day, and it's just getting closer and closer and closer. And it could be, very well be, that this tremendous boost of falsehood of the exchange chamber pushing itself forward is showing us that we're very, very close, and it's giving its last attack. That's one explanation. Another one, if you want to go a bit deeper, the fact that people today are more and more, unfortunately, stuck in sadness and depression due to frustration, confusion, not knowing what to do in life, not knowing what Hashem wants of them, not knowing what's their purpose in life, and having aspirations that are just falling in, and failures, and people are just broken more than any other time in history. We see so many people that they're just in sadness and depression. There's all types of medications and therapies and everything for people who are depressed and anxiety and distressed and all that stuff. And Rebbe Nachman teaches that this is what gives fuel to the chamber of exchanges. What gives fuel for the evil side is that people are depressed. That's why there's a swap in the first place. The reason why there's an exchange is in order for the evil to gain life force and nourishment through us being sad and depressed. That's the reason why they do the swap in the first place, to make us angry, to make us feel bad and worried, and thus leading us to depression and sadness, which is the goal, which gets the evil side to feel fulfilled and have energy. So based on that, our solution, our main advice now, more than any other time in history, is to work on being happy. Not to give the evil, the chamber of exchanges, what they want. Not to give them that we are sad and happy and depressed, because that's what they want. So then what to do? To be happy. But you can only be happy if you are a Jew connected to your Yiddishkeit. Because there's nothing to be happy about this empty world, this vain world. Unless it's connected to serving Hashem, then you have to be what to be happy about. To be happy about your Yiddishkeit, Shelo asani goy, that I'm not a heathen, that I'm a Jew. Hashem created me a Jew, that I do so many mitzvot every day, and I have so much access to such amazing things which are eternal. You say a bracha on your tzitzit, on your talit, it connects you to the infinite light, and it's something which is eternally yours. It can be never be taken away. Can there be any greater joy than that? This is obviously for a Jew who believes in this stuff. A Jew who doesn't have emunah, so he's obviously stuck in the chamber of exchanges. But when a Jew has emunah, even minimal emunah, it's enough to get him through, to pass the chamber of exchanges and being besimcha, thus smashing and breaking the stronghold of the evil forces from the chamber of the exchanges. So our major weapon is simcha. Now Sukkot is the epitome of simcha, right? We say in the davening of Yom Tov regarding Sukkot, Zman Simchateinu. It's the time of our joy, right? Pesach is Zman Cheruteinu, the time of our freedom, and Shavuot is Zman Matan Torateinu, the time that we receive the Torah. But Sukkot, we don't say the Zman of the Zecher Ananei Kavod to commemorate the clouds of glory. We say Zman Simchateinu. It's a time of us being besimcha, because the simcha is that it's a time to appreciate our connection to God. So what do we do on Sukkot? We leave our home, we go out into a temporary little confinement of boards, sukkah boards, schach, which is leftovers, bamboo, wood, stuff that we can, palm branches, stuff that's not an actual roof, and we're happy. By doing so, by going out into this domain, we are connecting to the most simplest attitude and a simple connection to Hashem. It's a time of such happiness of our connection to God. And also, at the same time, the sukkah is considered a protection. It's a schach. Schach means also like a shield. Sochech, dimsachecha. It's a protection from what? From all the evil influences of the chamber of exchanges. So therefore, the greatest antidote now, the greatest weapon we have to combat what's happening in the craziness of the world, is to go in the sukkah and spend as much time as you can in the sukkah. Nachon, it's true, it's easier said than done, especially when you have little kids and family and they want to go out and this and that. But do your best to make activities as close as possible of a proximity to the sukkah, if possible in the sukkah, next to the sukkah, but spend as much time as possible in the sukkah, because it's a protection. From what? From all the evil influences of the chamber of exchanges, which is outside of the world. The sukkah, Rav Nosson compares it in one place, is like Noah's Ark, the Ark of Noah. And the flood, the turbulent waters of the flood, is the craziness of the chamber of exchanges going around in the world. Our protection is to go into the sukkah, and to have this protection of a simple connection to God, which allows us to be happy. No smartphones, no news, nothing, just me and the divine presence, which is resting in the sukkah, the schach, right? The holiness of the sukkah. So this is, in short, our major weapon now. by being protected by the shield of the sukkah, we stand a chance to be filled with extra happiness, the Zman Simchateinu, the happiness of the sukkah, of the festival of the Sukkot. And by having that happiness, this is our greatest weapon to smash and destroy the holiness taken by the Chamber of Exchanges and used to try to make us to feel bad and depressed. So we should be zoche to know the weapon we have now more than any other time of the year is the sukkah. This is our weapon. This is our protection, our shield against the influence of the evil is being in the sukkah. Spend as much time in the sukkah. Allah says you should do all your letayel. You should spend time, do your vacation in the sukkah. You want to talk to somebody? Speak to them in the sukkah. Okay, eating, sleeping, drinking, everything's in the sukkah. Obviously, things out of respect, obviously, right? And with the children also, do events, play with them, talk to them, put music on. You have chidushim to write, insights on the Torah. All that should be in the holy sukkah, because that is your protection against the evil forces. And the more you connect to the sukkah, the more you have this energy for the rest of the year, Bezrat Hashem. We should be zoche on the sukkah to be protected from the forces, the evil forces of the Chamber of Exchanges. Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach.